ma'am. Thank you. You're also welcome here. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. We are meeting for the first time, I think so.
Yes,
Is it
ma'am. Yeah.
okay? So, welcome to my session. I'm Sarita Ohri, associated with the field of teaching for the last 20 years. And I've helped
Hmm.
so many students to become fluent in their day to day conversation, as well as how to speak on the stage eloquently. So before we go forward, I would like you to introduce yourself to me. Tell something about yourself.
Yes, sure, ma'am. As you are familiar with my name, I'm Kawaljit Kaur. I hail from Jalandhar, a moderate-sized city of state Punjab. And so far as my professional front is concerned, I'm a professional person. I work in the arena of education. Why I
Mhm,
took some time to come up to the right kind of word? Because I have been in teaching for the last so many years. And for the last 1 decade, my position changed. Like from one side of the table, I moved to the other side. So at this very moment, I am still working in the arena of education, but I'm not directly into teaching. I look after you can say, the holistic growth of the young students. So far as being on this platform, if I give you just some idea of being on this platform is concerned, you are quite familiar with the fact that whatever be the number of degrees in your credit, English is not our language. And in this cities like or state like Punjab, and
mhm,
might be the similar scenarios there in the other parts of India as well,
mhm,
that we people used to converse in our local languages.
mhm,
Sometimes at some point of time you start feeling that if you have that passion for growth, if you have that kind of instinct in your mind, like it has always been there inside my mind, that I'm not good at English, and I want to become a good speaker, not to speak on the stages, I mean, like whenever we are in some social gathering, sometimes I used to miss the opportunities because of hesitation. One thing, hesitation has always been there. Another, I knew the fact that I'm not good at it because I have been a very average kind of student. So, ma'am, just a couple, you can say, couple of months back, now it's over a year, then I came up on this platform, and these days I'm working on my language. Uh, so that way, my days are busy with my work, my job, and in the evenings, I used to converse with different people, and on and off I joined some professional kind of platform, because the kind of guidance and tips we can get from the mentor, the skilled persons, that becomes difficult when we converse with somebody at random. So I'm here in front of you today.
Well explained. First of all, it's a pleasant coincidence that you belong to Jalandhar and even I belong to Jalandhar. So, the
Nice.
colleges, HMV, DAV, so all I had visited during
Okay.
my studies. So, as you said,
Nice.
that it's a moderately small, no, it's a big city now. A lot of improvement is noticed. Of course, I haven't visited for the last so many years, but yes, during my studies, I had a full knowledge of all the surroundings and the institutions. As far as you said that regarding the tips, of course, I'll be giving at the end of the session. First tip of which you talked upon was that you want to converse while you are in your day-to-day life. What we need here is, uh, feel that your sentences are mostly correct grammatically. What improvement is needed to step to the advanced level of sentence structure? When we want, of course, first step you must have covered, because grammatically I haven't found any problem, except a few prepositions. For example, in my credit, it should be to my credit. So that type of, otherwise, grammatically sentences were quite good. Now, the next step is that you must be laying your hands upon the advanced sentence structures. That is, some of them, the same thing which we want to express. Uh, we can say, no sooner did I reach the station, the train had gone. So it can be said in a number of ways. When I read there, train had gone. But if we want the advanced structure, yes. No sooner did I reach the station, the train had gone. We can say, though I am good at English, yet I want to improve upon it. So these type of structures, complex and compound, bring variety to the language, and yes, speak a lot about the person, how much he has a command over the subject. Next, I always stress passive voice to be used. That brings variety to the language, as well as it stresses that, do we want to stress the object? Of course, active voice, we can give the meaningful sentences, but sometimes we need to stress upon the object. How? When I say that I teach Kaval, I'm giving importance to myself. But there is no need to give importance to myself. My importance is my student. Now, why not to use the passive voice? Kaval is being taught by me. So that type of things, we can just introduce in our language where structures are advanced and passive voice is being used. Otherwise, simple sentences are pretty good when you were talking about that. And grammatically also, things were not going haywire. So coming to, as you said that, any other difficulty you find when you are speaking.
Actually, the fact is, I'm familiar with my limitations. And the
Mhm.
biggest limitation is like at this very moment, after 10 or 15 minutes, when the session will be over, I will be back to my, regional kind of surroundings. So
Mhm.
whenever I used to have these kinds of conversations, it is a sort of, you can say, an opportunity for me to grab those 20, 30 minutes out of my whole day. So this is the
Mhm.
only time in a day when I work on my skill.
Mhm.
Because even at the work front, and if you, as you have told that you are familiar with the kind of
Mhm.
educational system or the institutions, you
Mhm.
have just named a few,
Mhm.
that it's the rarest of the rare thing that the people they converse in English. Even I have seen being associated with the colleges, different colleges, that somebody who is from the faculty, like the Department of English, even when those people they communicate, they talk to each other, they converse in the regional language only.
Right.
So in my
Right.
case, the problem I face is exactly you pinpointed. I make mistakes so far as these prepositions
Mhm.
are concerned. I know I'm lacking at that. So I need to work on or at that front. I know. Another is the very common kind of problem we all use, learners like me used to face, that is, at the right time, the right words, they don't come to the mind. And being a person from the education, I know it very well that, okay, if I want to uh, come up with the uses of those words, I must try to frame the sentences deliberately and try to use those words as much as it's possible, or I must try to create that kind of environment where those words can be used. But I don't know that, because you have asked me the kind of problems I face. One is definitely preposition. Another, that even suppose I'm talking to you and at the back of my mind that some word is scrolling down through the mind that, okay, I want to use that, but that word won't come at that very time. So anything which might be coming in your mind because you have tutored so many students? So might be some easy peasy kind of tip for me if you can share that
Yeah.
experience with me.
Of course, of course. First, your question was preposition. Kaval, there is no fixed rule for prepositions that here we can use. English is a very tricky language. We make the rules, but at the next instance, we break the rules. So, language learning is a matter of habit formation. How we can do it, I'll be telling you. All the four skills of language are interdependent: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. We cannot separate speaking with the other. How we have to do the other skills? First is reading. Reading should be a habit of a person, because when we read, but I always recommend to the students leisure reading. Don't stress yourself. When we start stressing, finding the meaning, our reasoning power comes up and we don't enjoy reading. That becomes a dull, and consequently, we stop reading because it's very dull, it's very boring. I always recommend leisure reading. Storybooks are the first thing which we, because that has some suspense level remains there, and moreover, continuity, long continuity is not required there. Because if you took a novel, it's possibly you are a working professional for a week you couldn't lay your hands on the book, and continuity is broken. So story is 3 4 pages, at the most 2 days you took, it's over. Secondly, while reading, always peaceful environment is needed. Never start reading where lot of noise is there. I always say that at night by your side book is lying, everybody has gone to sleep, pick up the book. You may consider it as sleep inducing recipe. You took the book, stories we can start, and whenever you feel that you are sleepy, keep the book. Why? Because if you will stress yourself, the charm of reading is over. Storybooks are the first stage to be familiar with this language. I always say short stories of Shakespeare, short stories of Ruskin Bond, short stories of Leo Tolstoy. Very interesting stories are there. When I was in my 12th class, at that time I got prize Leo Tolstoy's stories. And from there, my habit of reading developed, because stories have a sort of charm in that suspense level always remains. So leisure reading should be there. Don't pick up the book of Salman Rushdie or Shashi Tharoor. They go over the head until and
Yeah.
unless we have become avid readers. Once I took up the Salman Rushdie's book, of course, he is a very seasoned writer. But throughout, my reasoning power was going on. Secondly, never open the dictionary when you are reading, because if you try to understand through context, sometimes when we are reading we don't know the meaning of that word, but my mind has gripped it that what it may be. Later on, if you feel any word which is hampering your understanding, then open the dictionary. Nowadays, though, just smartphone, you click on that and it gives the meaning of the word. Gone were the days when dictionary was to be kept as a reference book. So this is reading. Secondly, listening. Listening is very important. Their pronunciation also is taken care of. On TV, try that. English programs, English movies, captions can be switched on, because Britishers' English we understand, but American English goes over the head. Their accent is quite complicated. So captions are on, and try that. Any word which is hampering the understanding, then look to the captions. Otherwise, start enjoying the movie, because the main purpose is enjoyment. When we enjoy, then mind is so sharp and smart. Those structures go into our memory lane, and when we speak they come out like popcorns, they sprout out like this. So listening, because see, a child born in India will first word ma, but outside he will say mom in America. Why? He listened that. That is why he spoke. So that is why listening is, of course, passive skill. It is. We are just enjoying it, but it's very important. Podcasts can be when you are busy gymming, walking, because when we go for walking or jogging, that's very boring at that time. These at then the traffic is not there in the park. I don't recommend while driving one should start listening to the podcast. So listening is very important. I recommend generally a few channels where one can develop interest for listening. News, otherwise, same type of news are going on, but there are two channels, Vion, WIO and Vion. At 9 o'clock, Gravitas come, 1 hour. They cover international news, that is DNA of the world. Then there is one more channel, Vantage, and there also there is first post is there, and at 9 o'clock that also covers. There you will be able to develop the intonation. You can see the expression of the lady when she spoke. Intonation is how we can become an impressive speaker.
Mm.
May not be on the stage. How we modulate the voice.
Mhm.
If I am speaking something very happily, that must be shown on my face. My eyes are wide open, smile on the face, and says, Kaval, India has won the match. Now see, my eyes are wide open. If I say, Kaval, India has won the match, then you will say, ma'am, then why you are so sad India has won the match? So how voice should go up and how it should come
Should go
down.
come down.
Yes, yeah. For example, I am just guiding you, then stability is needed. No need to go up and down because just guidance is going on. So that is very, very important, which is covered with the listening. Good speakers modulate the voice, bring those expressions, wide open eyes, smile on the face. So that is very important. Listening being covered. Next is writing. That's the active skill where accuracy is needed. I always say keep it for the last task. In the beginning, just one paragraph. That is also very important throughout the day. Anything can be your experience of the day, any encounter with the student, or while guidance you are giving, start writing just one paragraph. You will feel that sentence structure is being improved automatically, and that is very, very relaxing also writing. So these are the few tips which I would like you to exercise, because first stage you have already covered. Your command is good, your grammar is going absolutely fine. Only thing is now you must climb the ladder of this. That is, these tips will certainly help you to make you a perfect speaker, right? Anything else? Now, let us come to
How
do
did
ask.
you learn all these techniques? Are you from the that background? Like I'm quite familiar with the fact that
Mhm.
having your credentials in that subject, mean degree, doing master's or doctorate in English doesn't mean that you can become a good speaker. It's altogether, these are two different things. But I want you to share your experience, that how did you come up to this level? You speak
I
so
work
well
with,
and you are familiar with all the
mm,
strategies, and you gave me the nitty gritty of
yeah.
writing, listening, everything. So how did you come up to this level?
Kaval, first was that I worked in a residential school in Shimla, Auckland House School, for 10 years. There,
Okay.
they still have the English ladies for teaching English and music. There, of course, conversation, as I said, that you yourself know, speaking is very important professionally. You have done the right thing to join this channel. At least half an hour every day you will be speaking. And you are absolutely right when you said that our environment is not of English at home. We always talk in our regional language. We feel comfortable, as well as sometimes we want to give respect to our elders. Speaking English with them may be embarrassing for them. Third, to some extent, at the heart of heart, we believe that strengthens the bond with others when we are speaking in the regional language. So there I worked for 10 years. Yes, learned a lot from those ladies. That school was established by the Britishers before the independence. At that time, only residential English ladies were admitted as residential students. But later on, now, when the Britishers left us, the school has become our legacy. And now they have started admitting the day scholars also. There, I learned a lot. I was saddled with a number of responsibilities that I would be escorting the teams, debating teams, to BCS. Of course, BCS is an international renowned school. Then I was supposed to arrange the English plays on the stage, and I was also the staff editor of English magazine Optimus. So, of course, these things, all that skills were being taken care of. So that's why I have given you those tips. That, of course, same environment, it's not possible for everybody. I cannot say everybody should go to Auckland House School, but those four skills, how we can inculcate in us. So these things later on, as you know, that COVID-19 is the gave birth to online teaching. So then I joined online teaching, and I taught
Online
for,
school.
yeah, 4 years. I taught the IELTS students. Of course, there also a lot of polishing was done. So, of course, language is a habit formation. We come to know about the nuances of that when we attempt each and every skill. So, as far as you are concerned, you are pretty good. Only thing is the next level, that is polishing some of the sentence structures, and do read the books. You will feel that spontaneous improvement is done.
Improve.
Yeah. So when you will speak with us at that time, those whatever you had read, of course, environment is not there at home. If you will start with the advanced, nobody's going to listen to us. So when you will
Yes.
speak with us, you will feel that whatever you read, whatever you listened, they are coming automatically. And one day you will be surprised, how could I speak all these things? Mind is so smart, it restores everything, whatever we listen, whatever we read, right? Yes, come on. Anything else? So our topic, of course, we are not going to cover today. These things are more important for us. So you ask
Uh,
anything else.
you undoubtedly you have given me a very good tips. I must say I can take all these things as tips. I
Mhm.
just want to share with you that there was a time when I was scared of this language because my English started at the level when I was in the sixth standard. It is a
Okay.
kind of template of a government school, you know.
Right.
My mom was a government school teacher, so my primary education happened in my mom's school. So
Okay.
I started my English. I encountered with this language when I was in the sixth standard. So my whole schooling, my college studies, my university, frankly speaking, happened this way only, like with the that complex at the back of my mind all the time. And
Mhm.
I was I couldn't socialize with my friends even in the college or in the university, and in the with the same pace I was out. But yes, now I have developed the passion for it. I have started
Mhm.
loving this language. And
Mhm.
now at this stage of life, I feel that all my responsibilities, I'm done with all my responsibilities, and now I'm back to my that bucket list, and I have made up my mind to chase my dreams. And
Mhm.
this thing was at the top of my priorities. Though initially I used to hesitate and my heart would go pit to pat when if I go back to my like initial days when I joined these kinds of platforms. Even today, when I was
Mhm.
about to connect with you, I had the similar kind of feeling like 10, 15 minutes ago before joining with you. So I was a bit nervous uh, because I'm not customized to these
Mhm.
kinds of
Mhm.
situations. But
Mhm.
yes, by the end of the session, like it's almost it's near to its completion. I enjoyed it a lot, ma'am. And I am a kind of person who always used to avoid, you can say, making some excuses that I don't like reading, or yeah, I do listen whenever I'm driving and I'm heading towards my office. I used to listen something, some English content, or either I keep on framing some sentences, because these days I have started learning as a student, like
Mhm.
tutoring myself also at the same time. Like
Mhm.
some sentence is in the regional languages
Mhm.
comes in my mind, and immediately I try to frame it in English, not wasting much time on switching over from regional to another. Like I
Mhm.
keep on doing these kinds of exercises, but I'm not at all. Good reader is a big term. Avid reader beyond that. That I don't
Mhm.
like feel like reading, but
Mhm.
after going through this conversation, definitely one thing I have learned, that all the four modules of this language, they make it give it a complete structure. So definitely I will try to start developing this habit of reading. And
Mhm.
whenever we will meet the next time, then I will let you know that how much I could come up with, like so far as the reading is
Good,
concerned.
good.
Yes.
Yes, Nawal, I am honored that I had to give tips to you and really enjoyed talking to you. Hope to meet you again. So, with this, I'll be winding up the session. Bye bye. All the
Thank
best.
you.
Good day.
Thank
Good,
you.
good day.
You too.